Good morning, everyone. Merry Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas Eve, Vanessa.
Merry Christmas Eve, Scott.
You've got the Santa hat on.
Look at you with your little Santa bow tie this morning.
Yeah, you know, I have to bring out the Christmas bow ties.
Oh, and
Love
wait
it.
for the next hour of sunrise.
Yeah, we have a treat.
Tuned.
We have a treat. We have a treat, and I hope everyone's having a great start to your morning so far. Eric is taking some much-needed time off, visiting family from Missouri. I believe that's where he's from.
Yes, Missouri.
So I'm
Joplin.
filling in for a few days for him while he's enjoying the holidays. So.
Yeah, well, I know you're looking forward to being with your family for Christmas.
Yeah, we don't have a sunrise show tomorrow.
Yes,
so,
no sunrise show for Christmas morning.
Yeah, so I'm going to truck it on to Oklahoma, so I'm excited.
Oh, I'll be doing a lot of FaceTime with my family because my parents came to help me move here a couple of weeks back, so I spent Thanksgiving with them. So lots of FaceTiming tomorrow with family and friends. So.
And it's great weather for today, Christmas Eve, and for tomorrow, Christmas Day. Santa shouldn't have any trouble in these parts.
Nothing's going to stop Santa, Rudolph, and the reindeer from making their rounds to all the good boys and girls, which I hope all of you boys and girls watching this morning have behaved and waiting for Santa's arrival.
Yeah.
But before we can enjoy our Christmas Eve, we are waking up to some patchy fog in some spots this morning. So here's a quick look at our Alpha Insurance cameras overlooking Columbus, Tupelo, Louisville, Mississippi, and our Jones Pharmacy camera overlooking Vernon, Alabama this morning is showing the low cloud cover and some of that low visibility. So as you're heading out, maybe for those of you who need to make that one last minute rush to the stores or maybe heading out to travel this morning, make sure you just slow down and take your time. Now, some spots like West Point into Starkville and Columbus, you are dealing with good visibility levels right now, but again, don't let your guard down if you are encountering some low visibility this morning. We have been tracking it throughout the morning on our radar and satellites, so again, just slow down and take your time this morning. But of course, it's Christmas Eve 2019, and I'm tracking a very nice, pleasant day for us. Once the morning fog burns off, we'll see a lot more sunshine heading into the afternoon. We'll have a light northeast wind today, and temperatures will be topping out in the lower to middle 60s. We're expecting temperatures today to top out at 67 for your Christmas Eve. And look at this for your Christmas Day tomorrow, 68 degrees, near 70. It's going to be a warm, not a white Christmas for us here in Mississippi and Alabama, but still enjoy the day with your loved ones and family members with a mix of sun and clouds. I'll have the complete breakdown of your forecast coming up in just a bit, but for right now, Scott, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Vanessa, thank you very much. Louisville police are investigating the death of a man found with a gunshot wound yesterday morning. Police Chief Sean Holdiness says that officers responded to a home on North Court Avenue just before 9 a.m. Inside the home, they found 27-year-old Lee Andrew Hughes Jr. dead. Holdiness says that they're trying to determine if the gunshot was self-inflicted or a homicide. The Mississippi Bureau of Investigation is assisting in the case. Columbus police want a second suspect in a deadly shooting to turn himself in. The shooting happened on December 19th inside an abandoned 17th Street South home. Police Chief Fred Shelton did not release the suspect's name. Shelton says that officers have alerted the unidentified man's family and friends that the suspect is wanted by police. No information was released on how the suspect may be involved in the shooting. 18-year-old Shaquavis White of West Point is charged with manslaughter in the shooting death of 18-year-old Xavier Dora. Shelton says the suspect or anyone with information about the case should call the Golden Triangle Crime Stoppers. Houston police believe they found marijuana in a teacher's car that was parked on school property. Chief Billy Voyle says that Penny Hampton was charged with possession of marijuana in a vehicle, which is a misdemeanor. Voyle says the investigation is continuing and charges could be upgraded. He didn't say when the marijuana was found at a school. According to the school district's website, Hampton is a second-grade inclusion teacher and has been a teacher at least 4 years. No one answered the school district's office when we called. Bond is set at $1 million for an 18-year-old facing several charges after breaking into cars at an apartment complex. Joseph Hickman is charged with breaking and entering of a vehicle, directing a minor to commit a felony, and sale of a stolen firearm. Police were called to Vista Ridge Apartments. This happened early Friday morning after a resident saw two people looking into cars. Officers found 4 guns between Hickman and a minor with him. Charges are pending against the teen. Well, we've been talking about it all morning. It is Christmas Eve. While Santa prepares for his big delivery, families are still out shopping, trying to fill in the bottom of their Christmas trees. It's safe to say panic has set in for some shoppers as they battle long lines. Even though dozens of people wait until just a few days before Christmas, it turns out the earlier you shop, the better it is to avoid lines and crowded parking lots. We caught up with a few people around the Friendly City who are making sure their family members have a gift to open Christmas morning.
Well, we just out picking some last minute gifts for our son and what's we getting for nephews and some other family members.
No, I haven't been waiting. I've just been waiting for him to be at work so I could actually go shop for him. Oh, he'll be excited. He likes anything. He's not hard to please.
If you still need to go shopping, many stores have some extended hours, but it is Christmas Eve, so you might want to check with them before it's too late. Well, before Christmas, you worry about thieves stealing packages from your porch. After Christmas, you worry about them watching your trash to see what's new inside your home. Our DeAndrea Turner has some advice on getting rid of your Christmas trash.
Don't give criminals opportunity. So crime happens because of opportunity.
With gifts open and wrapping paper bags on the curb, those big-ticket items can make you an easy target for a potential home burglary. Columbus Chief of Police Fred Shelton stresses, be proactive.
Take it out, record the serial number, take and dispose of the wrappings in the paper, and again, put it in some bags or tear it down. Even better yet, recycle it.
If you want to keep it off the street altogether, consider recycling. Calvin Ware heads the sanitation for the city of Starkville and says recycling is at its all-time high during the month of December.
Recycling going to be up because it's Christmas and a lot of boxes. And so, yes, we get more than normal recycling around this time of the year.
While many Starkville residents have the small green sanitation boxes at their house, they can bring those bigger boxes that they open for Christmas right here to the Starkville Sanitation Department.
Can recycle all boxes. We take all boxes, including if they 50-inch screen TV coming in, we would take the boxes.
But there's certain items that cannot be recycled.
We do not take the bowls that come off your Christmas wrap or your Christmas paper. We only would like our citizens of Starkville to recycle the milk cartons, the boxes, and we love newspapers.
Law enforcement encourages people to also write down the serial number to any new items that you get this year. All right, well, time now is 5:06. There's still a lot more sunrise to come right after this. Stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. It is now 8 minutes past the hour. 6 years ago, the Tupelo Police Department, they suffered through its darkest hours when Sergeant Gail Stauffer was gunned down while investigating a bank robbery. Yesterday, Friends, family, and coworkers, they paused to honor Stauffer on the anniversary of his death. Riley Martin has more.
But all of us can say that he did.
Every December 23rd is tough for Sergeant Gail Stauffer's family.
Every year you think, well, it'll be better. And the time comes along and it's a difficult day.
But Sergeant Stauffer's mother, Debbie Brandenburg, says she remembers the strong support from the community in the days after her son's death, and the pain is eased somewhat.
I looked back on some things that people sent and the things people said, but that are comforting. But what I remember the most is how this community came together across all economic lines, all race, all ethnicities, everything. And we were a community. We were what Tupelo is about. And that gave myself and our family strength to stand when we thought we couldn't.
The ceremony honoring Sergeant Stauffer was held at Tupelo Police Headquarters next to a cross and plaque memorializing the officer's sacrifice. Stauffer's partner, Joseph Marr, was also shot but survived and is working in another northeast Mississippi city. Tupelo Police Chief Bart Aguirre said the most tragic day in the department's history has resulted in even better training and preparation for patrol officers.
Our officers learn from what happened on that day, how to better approach a situation like that. So through this training, we can better handle another situation like this.
Brandenburg and Aguirre say they appreciate the men and women who protect and serve every day, despite the danger.
I think we all need to remember that the young men and women who are in law enforcement, as the mayor said, in emergency, EMTs, all of these, they choose this profession. And they are running toward danger when we are running away. They don't know the people, and they help when nobody else can. And I would just say that we need to remember their sacrifice.
Sergeant Stauffer joined the Tupelo Police in 2005. He also served in Iraq with the Louisiana Army National Guard. Allie Martin, WCBI News.
The year Sergeant Stauffer was killed, 133 officers died in the line of duty. So far this year, 129 police have lost their lives on the job. Time now, 5:11. Coming up on Sunrise, how you can save money on your utility bill this winter. And Santa's not the only one getting ready for tonight. Still to come, we take a look at how one organization is preparing for their viral Christmas Eve tradition. Stay with us. You're watching Sunrise.
your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Vanessa Alonso.
Merry Christmas Eve and good morning to you. I'm hoping you are having a great start to your day despite the patchy fog that some of you are waking up to this morning. So if you need to make that one last minute rush to the stores this morning, or maybe trying to get a head start on your traveling, just slow down and take your time as you get to your final destination. Right now, our Alpha Insurance camera overlooking Columbus this morning is showing a little bit of that low cloud cover and patchy fog. In Tupelo, our downtown sky cam is showing some of that cloud and maybe a little bit of that patchy fog trying to form this morning. So far, visibilities are looking pretty good in places like Columbus, Tupelo, West Point, Starkville. But again, some of you could be dealing with some low visibilities this morning. So just slow down and take your time as you're heading out. Now, here is the good news. Once we get into the rest of today, I'm expecting to have a lot of sunshine once that patchy fog burns off late morning. We're going to go from the 40s this morning into the lower to middle 60s heading into the afternoon and heading into this evening, as many of you will probably be getting those kids ready for bedtime as Santa will be making his rounds this evening and overnight. We'll be seeing a few clouds. Temperatures will be dropping down into the 50s and into the 40s later on this evening. So here is the breakdown of our forecast for today. Once we get the morning fog burn off, we're going to see a mix of sun and clouds heading into the afternoon with temperatures today topping out in the middle to upper 60s, maybe near 70 degrees in our western Alabama counties. But so far, we are looking to just stay for the most part in the middle to upper 60s across most of the WCBI viewing area. So here is the breakdown. We have high pressure out to our west, and this is going to play a big role in our weather over the next 24 to 48 hours. Now heading into the rest of today, again, maybe just a few clouds, but I'm expecting a very quiet, pleasant day for us with a lot of sunshine with a very light northeast wind. But heading into our Christmas Eve night, into Christmas Day morning, our winds are going to start switching up to the southeast, and that's going to usher in some warmer air for us. But as you can see, by 9 o'clock, as you're getting those kids ready for bedtime and heading into the overnight hours as Santa's making his rounds. Again, just maybe a few clouds, but again, not expecting much. Now, we could have some patchy fog and some partly cloudy skies heading into tomorrow morning. But again, I'm expecting another quiet, tranquil day for us with those temperatures topping out in the 60s tomorrow before we start seeing that cloud cover increase Wednesday night into Thursday morning. So here's a quick look at your forecast for today. A high of 67 degrees, 68 for your Christmas Day, and then we'll see that increase in cloud cover and more rain heading into the weekend. Scott?
All right, Vanessa, thank you very much. Well, America's consumer wireless industry could be getting a new competitor, Dish Network. Dish chairman Charlie Ergen testified last week in support of the merger of T-Mobile and Sprint. If the merger is allowed to go through, Dish would be poised to buy Sprint's Boost Mobile prepaid brand. Dish would also purchase a chunk of wireless spectrum from Sprint and get a 7-year agreement with T-Mobile. The deal would let Dish customers be serviced on the T-Mobile network while it expands its own network. Well, imagine filling your shopping cart at a store and just walking out. Sounds like a good way to get arrested for shoplifting. That's true, but it's actually an idea being explored by some startups. Companies like Caper have developed smart shopping carts like the one you see right here. It's similar to Amazon's Go stores, but instead of using cameras and artificial intelligence to see what you've taken off shelves, cameras and sensors are built into your cart. There's also a built-in scale to weigh items in case you have to pay for them by the pound. Customers pay by credit card, Apple Pay, or Google Pay. If something goes wrong on the way out, a store employee is notified. While Amazon Go has focused on smaller scale stores, the co-founder of Caper says that the smart carts could work well in a large grocery store. Interesting. All right. Well, water heating is one of the biggest ways, or biggest expenses rather, in your home. That's according to the U.S. Energy Information Administration. And as the temperatures continue to drop this winter, chances are your bills will get higher and higher. In today's Consumer Watch, Melissa Rainey has simple tips to keep costs low.
If you want to save on your utility bill, cut your hot water use. Using hot water to shower, do laundry, and the dishes is one of the biggest expenses for households. But you don't have to sacrifice comfort to save. Saving is as simple as taking a shorter hot shower and shutting off the water while you soap up. But there's more you can do. Consumer Reports says these 3 tips can help you lower your hot water bill. Tip number 1, don't rinse dishes before you put them in the dishwasher. It's not energy efficient, and experts say all you really need to do is just scrape food off. Tip number 2, use cold or warm water for your laundry. Consumer Reports says their tests show clothes still get clean. Also, use the washer's faster spin cycle for less drying time. And tip number 3, buy energy efficient appliances. Consumer Reports says Energy Star washing machines and dishwashers use 33% less water than standard models. And as a bonus, new dishwashers are much quieter these days. For Consumer Watch, I'm Melissa Rainey.
Okay, first of all, you have to rinse out your plate. Samara, do you do that? I can't. You gotta wash off the food. That's just a little gross, in my opinion. All right, time now is 5:20. We still have more sunrise when we come back. Welcome back, everyone. 22 minutes past the hour. It's Christmas Eve, but it's not just the day before Christmas. It is also National Eggnog Day. The origin of this day, well, it's not known, but eggnog is a traditional holiday beverage. Now, it's also known as milk punch, and we've talked about that earlier. That just sounds gross. Most people, you either like it or you don't. You might be familiar with, well, eggnog. It's a sweet drink made with milk, cream, sugar, spices, whipped eggs. Sometimes people add liquor. If you don't care for the drink, you could try eggnog cookies, pudding, or eggnog-flavored ice cream. Well, the North American Aerospace Defense Command, better known as NORAD, is preparing to once again follow Santa Claus tonight. Gail Levy shows us how they track Santa and how this beloved tradition began 64 years ago.
Finding out where Santa is along his route is something many children are dying to know.
I have twin boys. They're 11 years old, and then, of course, a group of nieces and nephews, and every year we log on to NORAD Track Santa, and so we watch him as he makes his journey around the world.
The North American Aerospace Defense Command is an American and Canadian binational organization with the mission of aerospace warning, control, and maritime warning in North America. But on December 24th, their mission shifts gears to track Santa.
What usually happens is we'll pick him up on radar along the northern part of Canada and Alaska.
While NORAD can track him, his path is always unknown.
His course that he takes is different every year. It depends on the weather a little bit. It depends on kids being asleep as well.
And thanks to NORAD's technology, Air Force officials tell us they're able to track Santa so he can travel safely through the skies at night.
We want to make sure that he's deconflicted from anyone else so that no one gets in the way of him spreading his holiday cheer.
But NORAD didn't always keep tabs on Santa's route. This 64-year tradition happened on accident after a misprint in the newspaper.
Someone called in, it was actually a mistaken wrong number, thinking that they were calling Santa Claus. So that kind of started things off where they thought, well, we are in the air defense business, we might as well track Santa as well.
All right, the one thing I noticed there was the London Eye, so he was flying through London, it looked like. Well, that kicked off a family-friendly tradition for years to come. Now, to track Santa this year, just visit noradsanta.org. That's a website I'll be logging on to for sure. All right, well, now today's Sunrise question of the day. It's Christmas themed. We're asking you, what are some of your Christmas traditions? What's your favorite Christmas traditions? We've gotten some people over there talking to us on Facebook already. Head over to our Facebook page, WCBI TV. Give us your responses. Later on during Sunrise, we'll see what some of you have to say. All right, now here's Tom Ebel with sports.
It's officially Bowl Prep Week for Mississippi State. The Bulldogs will travel to Nashville to prepare for Louisville in the Music City Bowl. Louisville puts up plenty of points, 40th in the country in scoring with 32 points per game. But the Cardinals certainly give up a ton, 111th in the country, giving up 33 points per game. The Bulldogs giving their scouting report of what to expect from its ACC opponent.
They fit to their weaknesses, so they like to put they're a lot smaller up front, so they like to put a lot of guys in the box, try to help those guys support the run. But I mean, 7-5, they put up a lot of points on offense.
Very quick, explosive guys, you know, at running back, quarterback, receiver, O-line. They have one of the best O-linemen in the country in 73. I don't know his name, he's number 73 though. And you know, they score a lot of points. They average maybe like 28, 30 some points.
They decent, got a lot of young guys. I think they can ball in themselves. So they got a couple ballers. We cannot sleep on them. Anything can happen in the game of football.
You know, we talk about needing to out-prepare, out-physical, and out-execute to win this football game. So from a preparation standpoint, I wanted to make sure we were in pads, we were energetic, we were flying around, we were being physical, and I also think it helped the younger guys from a developmental standpoint.
Along with Cam Dantzler, safety Brian Cole will not compete in the bowl game to prepare for the 2020 NFL Draft. Nick Weatherspoon's return to the basketball floor for Mississippi State didn't go as planned as the Bulldog dropped its third game of the year to New Mexico State Sunday. The Aggies topping Mississippi State in a knockdown, drag-out game in which both teams shot around 40%. It's been almost a year since Weatherspoon was last in an actual game for the Bulldogs. Weatherspoon and Ben Howland not worried about the loss as the team tries to regain chemistry.
I'm not too much worried about that loss because I really believe in these guys and I really think we're going to turn this thing around come January. So even in December, this game on the 30th. So I really believe in these guys and I think we'll turn around.
You know, you can see it's going to take a while after you haven't played in 10 months to get back in sync. In the second half, I thought he had a really good second half, but 3 fouls in the first half. And I played him with 2, thinking, you know, he could, use his experience to not pick up his third. And it was an offensive foul, as I remember. So again, you know, he'll be fine. He just needs more reps out there in a game.
That's it for sports. Have a fantastic rest of your morning. Sunrise continues right after the break.
Sports coverage of the Music City Bowl is brought to you by OCH Regional Hospital and the Columbus Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Vanessa Alonso.
Merry Christmas Eve to you. Hoping you're having a great start to your day, despite some of you waking up to some patchy fog, but I'm tracking a beautiful Christmas Eve and Christmas Day for us. Let me share with you some statistics. Usually in Columbus, the warmest high that we've had on Christmas is 81 degrees. The coldest was 1 degree set back in 1983. Only a trace of snow has been recorded on Christmas Day in 1913. The warmest in Starksville for Christmas is 78 degrees. That was set back in 2015. 1983, the coldest was ever set in Starkville at 2 degrees. For Tupelo, the warmest high on Christmas was set back in 1987 with a high of 78 degrees. Coldest low, 0 degrees, set back in 1983. So for tonight, we are expecting temperatures, at least during the day, to top out in the lower to middle 60s. But as Santa is making his rounds tonight across the area, temperatures will be going down to 47 degrees, an increase in cloud cover, not too chilly. That's not going to be stopping Santa. And for your Christmas Day, we are going to be tracking temperatures tomorrow to be in the upper 60s. I'm going for a high of 68 degrees tomorrow. Partly sunny skies, a warm and nice holiday. Now, I am tracking rain chances heading into the weekend. I'll have more on that coming up in just a bit. But for right now, Scott, we'll send it over to you.
All right, Vanessa, thank you very much. Well, the week-old standoff on Capitol Hill over the articles of impeachment against President Trump shows no sign of ending anytime soon. CBS's Mark Liverman reports.
Democrats are demanding new witnesses. Republicans are calling for a speedy trial. With both houses of Congress in recess until January 6th, the impasse could last a while.
I think we'll find out when we come back in session where we are.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has refused to transmit the articles of impeachment to the Senate. In a tweet on Monday, the speaker wrote that the delay will continue, quote, until we know what sort of trial the Senate will conduct. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says that, above all, Democrats want to be allowed to introduce new evidence.
If it doesn't have documents and witnesses, it's going to seem to most of the American people that it is a sham trial, a show trial.
Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has said it's not the Senate's job to do fact-finding for the House. But yesterday, the senator said he could be convinced that more testimony is needed.
What we need to do is to listen to the arguments, have a written questioning period, and then decide whether we need witnesses or not.
In any event, the next step in the impeachment process isn't McConnell's to make. As the Kentucky Republican said, we can't take up a matter that we don't have.
Recently released emails indicate military aid for Ukraine was suspended about an hour and a half after President Trump's controversial call with Ukraine's president. Democrats point to that as reason why more evidence should be allowed. The White House insists on timing is coincidental. All right, time now, 5:33. Much more sunrise to come right after this. Thanks for staying with us, everyone. Time now 5:35. Residents of Houston could see some big changes in the town square over the next few months, and some lucky residents could see those changes happening right outside their front door. Our Cash Matlock has more on a new $1 million loan just approved by the city.
In early December, the Houston Board of Aldermen took a big step toward making much-needed infrastructure upgrades.
$1 million loan was secured from Three Rivers at a very favorable interest rate and no outside fees in favor of our 15-member tourism committee, who voted unanimously to take bids to rework and make our courthouse square beautiful.
The Courthouse Square project will only cost about $650,000. The board will use the leftover amount for street repair, a project for which they've already raised over $800,000.
The other $395,000 that was available, the city board elected to take that money to finish out our street program and do all the neighborhoods that we had been promising over the last 2 or 3 years.
Houston Mayor Stacey Parker says it's more than just $1 million loan.
It's going to go further than that. And one of the things about our sidewalks, we could spend $2 million, but that investment will last beyond 50 years or longer.
But not every board member was in favor of the loan. Some proposed waiting for a state grant to fund the remaining street projects. Parker says the city has already tried that method.
Over 15 years ago, to try to get grants for streets. Those street projects only typically, I'm going to say not, it doesn't necessarily stand for this 100%, but typically those are associated with job creations.
There are plenty of neighborhoods and plenty of streets for those grants, but they're the bird in the bush, and we're taking the bird in the hand to deliver to our people today.
With tourism from the Tanglefoot Trail playing such a vital role in the city's economy, city leaders say now is the time to make improvements.
Economic development is very important to any town, but quality of life is what brings people in to live in our town and stay in our town, and our children remain in our town.
Houston, are you ready? It's time.
Exciting time there for sure. The new projects are expected to start within the next few weeks. Also in Houston, it's been awarded the Levitt AMP grant. The $25,000 grant was awarded by a Mortimer and Mimi Levitt Foundation for a concert series at Legion Lake. Mayor Stacey Parker says that the series was the idea of Sean Johnson, the Community Development Foundation Director. Legion Lake is located right beside Tanglefoot Trail.
That impact is going to be huge. That is actually supposed to start, according to Sean, probably in May or toward the end of May. So we've got a little bit of time, but we don't have much time to get some things prepared out there to make this happen for this concert series.
The Chickasaw Development Foundation and Potter's House submitted the grant proposal. All right, 20 minutes to the top of the hour. Coming up in just a little bit, meteorologist Vanessa Alonso will have another check at our forecast. And after the break, Naomi Racham has the latest morning's health headlines. Stay tuned. More Sunrise when we come back. Welcome back, everyone. Why women may be more at risk for cognitive decline than men, and how to predict which surgery patients will develop complications. Naomi Retcham has a look at some of the day's top health stories.
About 20% of patients who undergo non-cardiac related surgery experience serious complications each year. Now, a common blood test may help accurately predict which of those patients will experience problems. Researchers in Montreal found patients who had concentrated levels of certain heart proteins before surgery were at an increased risk of death or complications 30 days after surgery. A new study of early-stage breast cancer patients finds patients who are also obese are at 3 times the risk of developing chemotherapy-induced heart disease. Researchers in France say the results suggest these patients may benefit from careful follow-up during and after drug treatment. And a new study may shed light on why women are more at risk than men for greater cognitive decline during Alzheimer's disease. Researchers found a high-fat diet limited the creation and growth of new nerve cells in adult female mice, but not in male mice. Those are some of the day's top health stories. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
The FDA has approved a new drug for those who suffer from migraines. It's called Herbal Pagant. Now, it will be sold under the name the name you see there by the pharmaceutical giant Allergan. The FDA announced the drug's approval yesterday. It could be an alternative for those who don't respond to or are unable to take medications that are now on the market. Nausea, sleepiness, and dry mouth, they were some of the most commonly reported side effects in a study published last month. It's estimated that 40 million people in the U.S. and 1 billion worldwide suffer from migraines. All right, time now, 5:45. We'll send things over to meteorologist Vanessa Alonso for another look at our forecast. Hey, Vanessa.
Hey there, Scott, and good Tuesday morning to you. Merry Christmas Eve. You're probably either maybe heading out to the stores to take advantage of those last-minute Christmas sales and shopping, or you're probably getting a head start on your travels this morning to make it to Christmas, to spend it with family and loved ones. Make sure that you take your time if you do encounter low visibilities this morning, because some of us are waking up to some patchy fog out there and some low visibilities. Our Alpha Insurance Skycam has been picking that up throughout the morning. You can see a little bit of those low clouds and low visibilities in some spots, and also temperatures not too bad. 48 degrees right now in Columbus, 45 and Tupelo, 48 in Louisville, Mississippi, Vernon, Alabama. Our Journ's Pharmacy Skycam is also showing a little bit of that low cloud cover this morning. And temperature-wise, across the rest of the region, we're waking up to 44 degrees in Bruce, 45 in Houston, and into Macon, 50 degrees as well. Now, as we go throughout the day today, again, we are waking up to a little bit of some low visibility this morning, but so far in places like West Point, Starkville, Columbus, we are seeing good visibility levels right now, but again, don't let your guard down. We have been tracking it throughout the morning. Now, heading into the afternoon hours, we'll see a little bit more sunshine, and temperatures today will be topping out in the lower to middle 60s for high temperatures. So here is the breakdown. We have high pressure out to our west. This is going to play a big role in our weather as we go into our Christmas Eve and our Christmas Day, bring in the pleasant weather for us. So here's a quick look at your futurecast for today. As I break this down for you, heading into lunchtime and into the rest of your Christmas Eve, I'm not expecting much once the morning fog burns off. It's going to be a beautiful day out there with lots of sunshine. Get outside and enjoy today if you can, because it was just a dreary last few days for us with the rain and the cloud cover, as Santa will be making his rounds later on tonight. Nothing too much going on. Now, some of us could have some patchy fog early tomorrow morning, but that's not going to stop Santa and his reindeer from making their rounds across Mississippi and Alabama. Heading into the noontime hour for your Christmas Day, as many of you will be with your family and loved ones and opening up those presents. Not much going on either, just very pleasant, very tranquil weather, but we will start seeing clouds increase heading into the evening and into the overnight hours and for your Thursday morning. So here's your Christmas Eve forecast. For tonight, as Santa will be making his rounds across the area, temperatures tonight will be topping at 47 degrees for your overnight low, and into tomorrow for your Christmas day, temperatures will be going up to a high of 68 degrees with partly sunny skies, and then heading into the next 5 to 7 days in your AccuWeather forecast, we'll be seeing a cool down in our temperatures with rain chances this weekend. Scott?
All right, Vanessa, thank you very much. Well, J-Lo is practicing for the Super Bowl, and things are going downhill for Will Ferrell and another actress. Michelle Medina has your eye on entertainment.
Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
It's all downhill for Will Ferrell and Julia Louis-Dreyfus as they reevaluate their relationship in the upcoming black comedy Downhill. They play a married couple who take their kids on a ski vacation, only to find themselves nearly wiped out in an avalanche.
The kids were screaming because it felt like we were gonna die.
Downhill hits theaters on Valentine's Day. Jennifer Lopez is getting ready for her big Super Bowl halftime gig. Her fiancé, Alex Rodriguez, offered a glimpse of J-Lo's rehearsals on Instagram. Lopez is putting the show together with Shakira. She recently told Variety they're excited to be standing on the stage as two Latin women to celebrate the beauty and value of their culture, and she hopes the performance will be a unifying moment. Super Bowl 54 kicks off February 2nd in Miami. And legendary rock band Chicago is getting a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. Chicago has been recording and touring for 53 years. The band recently released the holiday album Chicago Christmas. Iggy Pop and Roberta Flack are among some of the other recording artists who will receive the Lifetime Achievement honor during a special ceremony in April. The Grammy Awards air on January 26th, right here on CBS. That's your eye on entertainment. Nichelle Medina, CBS News, Los Angeles.
All right, we're 10 minutes to the top of the hour. When we come back, we'll take a look at your sunrise question of the day. All right, well, it's no secret that myself and Vanessa are excited about Christmas. So if you are, well, guess what? Of course, you're not alone. Some animals at the Australian Reptile Park in Australia. Oh my God, look at that koala. OMG. Okay, they're celebrating the season in a holiday-themed, oh my gosh, look at this little koala bear. Y'all, koalas are my favorite. All right, so this holiday video, it showcases their spirit, their just utter cuteness. I mean, look at it. The gang of participants includes koalas, a pair of Tasmanian devil joeys named Panini and Crumpet. Oh my gosh. Also baby alligators and a host of other animals. Now, according to a press release from the organization, the Australian Reptile Park is a hands-on zoo in a natural bush setting. Oh, I want to grab all of those koalas.
That is too adorable.
All right, well, the weather outside might be frightful, but that didn't stop contenders in the first international winter swimming tournament in northeastern China. More than 200 swimmers from China, Russia, and the U.S. and South Africa challenged frigid weather. The warm-up involved an ice bucket challenge in -4-degree weather, people. That's cold.
Ooh,
the tournament included 100 and 200-meter races in the icy pool, while bundled up bystanders cheered them on.
Oh, 4 degrees. Oh, ugh.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do that. All right, this one brings us a little closer to home and in some warmer temperatures. Folks along the Mississippi River are preparing for a true Cajun Christmas tradition. Trey Colvion has more on how they are lighting up the way for Papa Noel.
We can't see ourselves not on a levee in December.
If it's Christmas time in Garyville, you can always find Joshua Weidert, his crew Blood, Sweat, and Bonfires, and their massive alligator up on the levee.
Yeah, we've been doing it since we were 12, 13 years old.
Their piece-by-piece work starting long before the holiday season.
We started on it, planning on it back in July. The head, I started working on the head at my house at about end of October, beginning of November. It took about 15 people 3 weeks to build this.
Folks taking an up-close look on Friday, but even though it's only wood, this gator does bite.
You work it from the inside. There's a hatch door on the top, kind of like a submarine. You climb up there, open the door, and get inside through a ladder, and there's a little chair in there with a handle you could pull, and it'll make the mouth open and close.
On Christmas Eve, their massive 60-foot gator will go up in flames, leading Santa, better known here as Papa Noel, through Cajun country.
Whenever we burn it, it's a celebration of our creation, all of our hard work.
But all that time, meticulous work, and energy just to burn it down?
You know, just like I tell a lot of people, you know, wedding cake designers build beautiful wedding cakes, and what happens to them in the end? They get cut up and eaten.
There's no eating this gator, though, only the massive glow it will give off on the night before Christmas.
This is a pretty cool tradition. I thought that was really interesting, and to know that it happens, like, you know, on the Mississippi River there in Louisiana. Awesome. All right, well, real quick, let's take a look at some of the questions, or Sunrise question of the day. It's Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas, everybody. What are some of your favorite Christmas traditions?
Oh, let's see. Leanne Wilson, she says that she goes to Christmas Eve communion and candlelight service at church. Cecilia says that the whole family, which is about 25 plus people, they all get together and celebrate. And Betty says her grown children and her grandkids, they spend the night with her and exchange gifts. That is so
I love
sweet.
that. And then they have a big breakfast the next morning. I love that, a big Christmas breakfast. Also, Holly Schaefer, she just messaged me. She's a good friend of ours. Text me and tell me one of your favorite traditions, Holly. Merry Christmas to the Schaefer family. Coach Vic Schaefer, Mississippi State women's basketball coach. Love that family. They're great. Oh, we're going to have a costume change in the next half hour. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, everyone.